Hey guys, I am really excited to share with you the first pass 3D exterior massing model for your home. Before we jump into the 3D model, let's just quickly orient ourselves the way we've been looking at the floor plans. We haven't yet had a chance to go over the changes to the master suite or to the detached structure, but I felt confident enough that the floor plan was more or less set and ready for me to start studying in 3D. So I'll minimize the floor plan and we'll look at a similar view here in the 3D software. And so what we're going to be seeing is really more meant to study the, the exterior look, not the interior yet. The materials and the color palette as well is really just meant as a placeholder for now. What I really want to focus on right now is the general shape and form, the height and bulk of the house, and the material configurations. Like for example, where I'm showing this stained grade wood siding being bookended by these massive tile pillars on either side of the dark painted garage door. I mean, I think that looks great, but don't get hung up too much on whether or not you want this to be stained grade wood versus just like fiber cement siding or some other material or even just more painted stucco. We could certainly iterate for a bit on that after we decide whether or not we like the general form. So here we're standing at the front of the house. We've got the garage here. This would be the office space and the front facing guest bedroom. We've got this 2 and 12, so a very shallow roof. It's 2-inch drop for every 12 inches in run. 2 and 12 pitched roof that sort of just looks very traditional, I think. It's just a very large gable roof with a little slight rise to it. But then there's this little bit of a contemporary element here, this element that sort of forms a sort of more human scaled portal to get through um, for the entry. Let's see, where's the entry perspective shot? So, you can see that this doesn't really extend all the way back to the wall where the door is. And I like that because I think what that allows us to do is to get a little bit of a glimpse through this high transom window to see the ceiling treatment happening up in the foyer. And then also there's this little bit of whimsy here where I think if we had a wall-mounted sconce, a pendant light hanging down here, I think it'd be kind of cool just to see that light coming down from that element that's a little bit obscured from view just for a moment here as you approach the front door. Um, and boy, am I excited about the view in the hall. But again, this isn't an interior model. Let's focus on the exterior. So let's see, let's jump from the entry. Let's start looking towards the right. And so here is a view that we would see maybe turning the corner and walking down the street, and we would see perhaps over the house the loft area and the roof extension, how this very simple single slope standing seam metal roof just continues up to provide these clear story windows up here at the loft space. And as I was modeling that, when I first did it just for the loft, I felt like it didn't have the right proportion. Certainly it helps that this roof extends back over the patio, but I thought it was worth exploring the idea of extending this clear story treatment above the entry space into the guest bedroom, the teacher's guest bedroom, as well as over the hallway leading into the office and the front bedroom here. Um, this warrants some further discussion after we talk more about the rest of the exterior model. So let's move on for now. Actually, sorry, let's go back to the entry. One of the other things I liked about this entry was that the office space here would have this nice corner window treatment, which I think sort of fits with the rest of the house, especially when we get towards the back. And I love that this window here faces into the entry porch area. This could crank open to accept packages, drop-offs, or just to quickly greet the guests while you then run around the hallway here to open the front door. I like this corner treatment a lot. The guest bedroom here has a simple double casement window. Um, that would face out. I would suggest some soft landscaping up against the wall here just to sort of soften this rather than doing anything like putting a stone base. I think softscape would be better here. Reserve that hardscape budget, that stone or tile budget for this wall here at the entry, which I think is just going to be really, really fantastic. Okay, so let's take a look at the right side here. And what we're seeing are some high windows above the bed for the guest bedroom, a high window above the shower and toilet area for the bathroom shared by these two rooms here. Then we've got a sliding glass door for the teacher's suite, and I'm also showing how we would step up to a little bit of a raised patio space here, just outside for them, which would be nice and could be separated by a little gate that then acts as a barrier for the rest of what would be your side yard and rear yard access. Here we're seeing a window just above the master bedroom toilet, and then a window. I'm sorry, this would be the window above the closet, or in the closet, I'm sorry. This is in the master walk-in closet. This here is above the toilet. And then these are the high windows above the master bed. And then we start to get a glimpse for the artist studio here and the landscaping that happens between the two structures. Let's see, let's head to the back. I am really, really excited about this back patio space. I always thought that this was going to work out, but I just love the simple gesture of this single shed roof that comes up, extends over this new vaulted living space, this patio that's just an extension of the indoor seating areas and kitchen. And then, you know, penetrating through this covered patio with these covered skylights here, bringing in light to the patio space, adding some visual interest to this composition. And I'm jumping ahead a little bit here, but just the view from the master suite. So when we're in the bedroom or the master suite and we look up above the sliding glass doors through this clear story window and we see those 4 skylights, I'm just so thrilled with how this turned out. And even though the view, there's the studio is right here, it's only 7 feet away. I think that by raising the windows up high on this wall and allowing for some planting to happen at that wall, it's really sort of softened this up in a way that, sure, it's still tight. Yes, I still think there's some concern about, seeing this wall, but it's not as bad as, I might have once worried when we reduced this down as much as we're doing here. I think I'm getting a little stuck on that. I think it's actually fantastic. But that's another reason why actually, I mentioned the corner window treatment at the front of the house. Here, I think too, let's pull the windows away from this side of the wall. Instead of having the windows perfectly centered on this wall, let's pull them over to the left. That way it draws the eye out towards this corner, the long diagonal view of your backyard space, and draws your eye that way, and then leaves this just sort of as a more private head wall space where you're not laying in bed looking directly out onto that direct line of sight on the studio. It's more of a glancing long shot. You see the corner of the roof. I think this is a very dramatic space. I'm very excited about this. But back to the outside. Looking at this patio, we're seeing here also the pocket doors, the pocket sliding doors. So these 3 doors and these 3 doors will all slide into their pockets here on the side wall, leaving nothing but this central post here. But look at this opening into the rest of the house. I'm really, really excited about this. I think there is so much potential for this relatively small patio space to feel like it's just an extension of the rest of the house. I think this is a really fantastic space. So here it's just super roughly mocked up, but this is the the family sitting area under the loft. Based on the slopes that I'm showing here, that 2 and 12 slope, we get some heights here. This is 10 feet to the underside of the loft. And then up above the loft, this is rough and approximate, but it's about 6 feet at the top of the wall. So certainly not a very comfortable height, but certainly enough to get some storage boxes up here. The tightest point's maybe going to be at about 4.5 feet. I think it's the right size. The windows are pulled up above the wall, the bottom of the loft surface, but just above the rest of the roof that's sloping from the master bedroom and covering up the other guest bedrooms. I'm really happy with how this turned out. The family room, the back of the family room would have or the dining area or the secondary seating area would have a large expanse of glass for now. Although I think this is maybe an area where it could be reduced. I might say, it'd be nice maybe to get rid of this one window here, just to make some more solid wall area for the outdoor heat pump to live. Although I think maybe that's still a little bit close to the electrical meter. I need to double check that, but I'm not too excited about having the heat pump unit right here next to what might be, an outdoor barbecue area. Certainly the seating zone. I know we didn't really talk yet about having an outdoor kitchen here, but this might be a nice place to have it, right there off the main kitchen. You can go out either this door here or this door here to get to an built-in griddle, or this could be any sort of secondary unit like the big green egg, and definitely a hand sink. Whenever you might be touching meat, let's get a hand sink around there too. And then on the top of the roof here, we've got the 4 skylights for the patio space, a large array of solar panels with plenty of room to expand this. Really, there's a lot of real estate for solar panels up here, even with the general pipe penetrations that I've studied here. You can add a third row here. Definitely some room up here between the skylights at the back patio and the skylights at the foyer. But that's just a lot of really easy, simple roofing. Your roof is 2 planes, 2 simple planes, 1 ridge. I'm thrilled with how this has turned out. But looking at the rest of the house here, the family room would have some high windows too. So basically, I think every corner window or every corner room is going to have a bank of windows, and then above the bed would be a high transom window. The master suite's got the extra special treatment of having windows on 3 sides. So that is just really, really fantastic. We should take a look at the artist studio too, of course. So when we're back at the patio space and we look back towards the artist studio, I'm really happy with how this little structure has turned out. I'm proposing another simple shed roof with some high clear story windows. The view from these windows, it's not too fantastic. I mean, it's of the architecture. I guess I can't say that's not fantastic. But it's definitely for bringing in light more than it is for having a view out. But because we've got the large sliding glass doors here facing the long view of the backyard, plus given our setback from the property line due to the easement, we've got 2 large windows here that could look out onto some nice planting back here. So I think that could be something really this could be a really nice space. There's more for the interior to do here, so it's really not much to look at, but just a nice simple shape here with a lot of natural light, but a lot of wall space too. So I think this is pretty nicely done here. And then looking at the rest of the side elevation here, so the kitchen area would have these 3 windows, and then the long walk-in pantry would have a window here as well. So in the kitchen, we would stand here at the sink with a double casement that could crank open for fresh air. And then there'd be another tall window here on the other side of the cooktop before we hit the tall pantry space. and then again, the window here that leads into the pantry and the laundry area, bringing in some natural light. Side door for the garage, and then we're back to the front. I'm really happy with this, guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts. We can quickly step inside just to get an idea for what the hallway is doing. The entry space would be vaulted too. Huge window up here at the top. And then these 3 skylights that center on the hallway leading to the other bedrooms. But when you look back, at the end of the hallway, you're going to see some natural light coming in, but you're not going to be able to see the source of it, but you'll see it illuminating whatever you put up here, whether it's plants or statues or some collectibles or something. But when you get to the end of the hallway, you're greeted with these 3 skylights when you look up, and I think that's going to be great. It's going to bring light into the middle of this room. I don't think it's an overwhelming number of skylights. Certainly, we could add more, but I think this is the right way to go. Yeah, very excited to hear your guys' thoughts. So let's schedule a meeting and talk about your feedback. Thank you, guys.